Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back at it again for another Transformers Legacy United action figure video, and today we're finally taking a look at the Gladiator Megatron and IDW, police officer, security officer, Orion packs. Hasbro finally made them, and they're San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I love the artwork they've got going on right here. It says Fractured Friendship 2-pack, Transformers United, Hasbro, Takara. Got some images right there on the top as well. Some of that artwork continues here on the side of the packaging. Got the 40th anniversary of Transformers branding right there for Legacy United. Here on the back, just got some product images and such for the figures inside.
Authentic Transformers!
First off, I guess we'll start with some of Megatron's new accessories, like this brand new sword that is unique to this set only. Really cool accessory. Would love to see this recast in like purple or something as like a dark star saber. That is really awesome. And then he also comes with this new hammer piece that, has a big block of Energon right there. Kind of looks more like an Energon goodie. And then Megatron also comes with the same accessories that this mold previously included. He has the fusion cannon drill right here, which the drill is still a removable piece right there. And then he's got this pickaxe right here, which is a nice accessory to also get. Orion packs here. Since he is retooled from the Gamer Edition Optimus, he does include that rifle. And on top of that, it has a new adapter piece in here, so he can actually hold it properly instead of having to do the removable arm gimmick thing. But it's exclusive only to this San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack. And then also, speaking of Orion Pax' arms, he does also come with these arm cannons, which just simply plug in on his arms right there, as you can see. Even though the gun can't do it anymore, Prime here still does have the removable arm gimmick thing. But I just like to think of it as an additional play feature. And then, of course, for the final accessory, he does have a Matrix of Leadership. And yes, he do got the touch. This Prime/Orion Pax does have the touch. It's a shame that he costs this much, though.
What the barnacles?
Starting off with Megatron here, I do like this head sculpt here. I really do like the way how this head sculpt looks. All the red all over him really gives off a, very Gladiator vibe, even though it's not like, it's a very bloody look, even though it's not actually blood, it's just war paint, but like, that's the vibe I get from this figure. And I do kind of like the one under his eyes and his face. It's just, it does kind of make him look a bit like a clown. The real clown here is whoever priced this 2-pack for that much. Overall, I love the silver in the face. I like the dark bucket head right there that contrasts with the dark gray body. Kind of reminds me of like D16 and like some of those early Megatron design where he's got the dark bucket head. And then again, like I said, I love the red paint that's all over this guy. Really gives him a very post-apocalyptic, very like war paint kind of look going on here. And again, it's complemented very well by a lot of the sculpted in details. There's also some silver highlights as well. But overall, I don't think this is a bad use of the mold. It still carries over all of its great siege details and everything. And also another note, the QC on this guy actually doesn't feel too bad either. All the joints feel nice and tight. The only thing I can see becoming loose over time is the knees right here. But as of right now, he does plant firmly on the ground. Now let's go over Megatron's posability. So Megatron's got a ball joint at the head that allows his head to swivel from side to side. He can't really look up or down all that much. He can still... And then his shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move in and out. If you utilize the transformation joint, you can technically get some butterfly joint movement out of him, but, again, it's optional. He does have a elbow swivel, not just like ever so slightly over 90 degrees of bend at that elbow. And then the wrists don't do anything. The waist does swivel from side to side. Hips rotate forward. They can rotate back. They can move outward. He does get a thigh swivel. 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Ankles can't really move up or down, but he does have some great ankle pivot in there. So yeah, great articulation on Gladiator Megatron. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Da 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 da. And now taking an up-close look at this Orion Pax. Oh my gosh, does he have one of the best-looking Optimus Prime head sculpts I have ever seen. I absolutely love this design. He's got some nice paintwork right there with the antennas on the sides. He's got the nice bright blue eyes, the silver faceplate, silver there in the head crest. Absolutely adore that head sculpt. And then coming down to the body, again, these retooled parts right here that present his very comic accurate chest plate look really good. And as shown before, he does have the matrix chamber inside of there. And overall, he's also got some really nice retooling there on the shoulders as well, and a little bit of his forearms. Again, very nice tooling there so he can have those comic accurate shoulder cannons. His abdomen also looks really good. I also like how they painted this in yellow, where the original Gamer Edition figure had those in red, and it did look a little, even though it was game accurate, it did look a little weird, so I'm glad that it's in like a nice G1 color scheme for here. And then the backpack here doesn't look too shabby. I mean, it does pop out just a little too far for my liking. But that being said, it is not the worst. And then also down here on the shins, most of this is retooled right here on this panel, but the thighs and some of these panels and the feet are not as retooled, though the feet do have some new features and such that we'll get to later in the truck mode. And then overall, again, kibble is very minimal on the legs. It's just his backpack that's kind of a little too big. But again, it's not the worst, because again, this is a heavy retool, but it is a very clever retool. I don't know what it is, but I love the more saturated, bright red and blue color scheme to this one, rather than the muted red and blue that were on the other figure. Going over Orion Pax's posability, he's got a ball joint at the head. It allows him to look up and down a little bit of head pivoting, swivel for a full 360. Shoulders rotate a full 360. His shoulders can move outward very far. He does have a little bit of butterfly joint movement in there, but just be aware that you do have to slide this transformation bit right there in order to use it. Just letting you know. And then he does also have a bicep swivel. Just about 90 degrees of bend at this elbow, though the one that's removable bends in that little bit farther. He does also have wrist rotation. Would have liked the hands to have been retooled to where they had some opening hands, but it's not the end of the world. He does get a nice waist swivel. Hips can't move back at all, but they can rotate forward really far. You can get those really high kicks. His hips can move outward all the way. He can do the full splits. He does get a nice thigh swivel, 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then finally his ankles can pivot. So absolutely fantastic posability on this guy as well. Starting off with the mold mate comparisons, here is the Optimus and Megatron compared next to the original D16 minor Megatron. Here they are with Siege Megatron, Gamer Edition Optimus Prime, Deluxe Class Orion Pax, some more IDW comic book related comparisons. Here is Senator Shockwave, Senator Ratbat, and then finally one last IDW comparison, the Voyager Class Tarn. Even though I did a lot of comparisons, it's not necessary to have, other figures to make these two fun. These are still two entirely great figures on their own. It's just, I just couldn't resist comparing them and posing them around with a bunch of other comic book related characters. Let's now get these guys transformed into their vehicle modes. And now getting right to the point. We'll now take a look at Megatron's mining mode here. So right here, it's just his, regular siege tank mode with the red paint now scattered throughout on the vehicle itself. Only this time, instead of a fusion cannon, he's got the drill. I was trying to twist the drill bit right there, but I guess the whole thing just decided to explode in my face. That's what she said. And then, of course, it's pretty much just Megatron just lying down. But yeah, overall, I do like how it looks. Again, I do prefer these colors and this particular mold for this vehicle, but overall, it's nothing too special, to be honest. And he does have some rolling wheels. Yippee! But let's take a look at the vehicle everyone's the most curious about. So, Optimus Prime / Orion Pax here looks very good. I love how he's got the nice big red cab, nice bold bright red with that nice blue canopy and the headlights right there. Overall, I love this grille right there. Very nice looking armor plating. And overall, I love just the absolute amount of sculpted detail and everything. Kibble's very minimal. You can also store those side guns right there on the side of the truck as extra smokestacks or, exhaust or whatever. And then that extra bit of transformation I was going to mention is this guy has these extra panels in the feet that actually hinge down and cover up the hands back there. Which is a huge step up considering that that was the only complaint I had on the Gamer Edition Optimus.
You really gotta hand it to them.
And yeah, I love the silver there in the rims, and this also rolls really well. Yippee! And now getting into the alt mode comparisons, here they are with the original Minor Megatron. The original Siege Megatron, though I forgot to add on his cannon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
The original Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. Deluxe Class Orion Pax. Senator Shockwave. Senator Ratbat. And then finally, Tarn. And yeah, that is pretty much it for my review on this San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack. So long story short, pretty much, I do like this 2-pack. I think the Megatron is one of the better versions of this mold, even though, again, it has been worn out a lot. And this Optimus Prime / Orion Pax is absolutely phenomenal because it's based on the IDW comic books, which has been one of the most famous and most beloved designs for the character in the comic books for years and years and years. And so I'm glad that they finally made it into a figure. It's just the biggest downside to this 2-pack is the fact that it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack. So it's hard to recommend because, one, I personally think they're overcharging for this 2-pack. I don't think $75 is quite worth it for 2 Voyager class figures. There are a lot of accessories included in this, yes, but I still feel like I'd be a lot more comfortable if this was maybe around more in the $60 range, since Voyagers usually range between $30 to $35 nowadays. And just overall, I do like it. It's just the only problem is, I would buy one of these 2-packs myself, but the $75 price mark just for me to get the Orion Pax is kind of a bit much. Because again, I did shout out to my friend Gary who let me borrow his 2-pack for me to review. And again, as I've been reviewing this, I've been pondering to myself if I should buy one of these for myself. And honestly, I don't know if $75 is worth the trouble. But that being said, I do still really like the 2-pack. As a 2-pack as a whole, I give this a solid 7 out of 10. But if we're ranking this in terms of individual figures, the Megatron I give a solid 8 out of 10, and the Orion I give a solid 10 out of 10. Because the Gamer Edition Optimus, I gave him a 9 out of 10. The only problem he had was that the hands were not covered up in vehicle mode, and this guy fixed that. So 10 out of 10 for this figure. But again, if we're realistically talking here, the 2-pack is a 7 out of 10 because the pricing, the way it takes to get it, and just what is included. So anyway, that is it for this review. If you guys liked it, give me a like on the video, comment below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and action figure videos, and I will catch you guys next time.